Good morning. This time I'm going to do the Finchale Camino trail, 9 mile out and back, and essentially what we're doing is walking from Finchale Priory, or Finchale Abbey as I call it, over to Durham Cathedral, and we're going to go and see a dead fella. Usually your start point's going to be here. I've decided to park up there on the road rather than the car park. The reason for that is because I'm going to come back at the end of the walk and I'm going to have a look around these ruins. I can't get in right now because it doesn't open till 10, but by the time I get back over it should be open. The Finchale Camino is a section of the Camino Inglés, which is Spanish for the English way, and it's an old pilgrimage route. They reckon the monks and pilgrims started doing this around 1000 AD, and people's been doing it ever since. What they would do is start back there at the Priory, and they would head over to the shrine of St Cuthbert, where his remains are kept in Durham Cathedral. So today I am a pilgrim. The first mile or so of this looks like you're just following the road you would drive down if you were using the regular car park. Alright. I don't know what these things are here. You can get in. They look like bunkers of some sort. I'll see how much footage I get, and I might have a look in there when we get back. As we approach this bend and go past this white house here, we're going to hit our first stop on this route, HMP Frankland. We've got to go and have a look at that. So there it is, Monster Mansion, built in 1980. This is how some of the vilest men this country's ever seen. I watched a documentary not too long ago about this place, and I was shocked when I learned who has been and who still is locked away inside there. Likes of Ian Huntley, Levi Belfield, Wayne Cousins, just to name a few. Former notable inmates included Harold Shipman and the Yorkshire Ripper. Also some pretty nasty terrorists in there as well. Now it baffles me that in this country we house scum like that at the taxpayer's expense, when a length of rope and a big job would be a hell of a lot cheaper. Okay, so the route has us skirting round the perimeter of the prison now. You're not getting out of that, are you? As you can imagine, this is cambered up to death. Jimmy, am I in the gear hour? No drones allowed. Once I get to the end of the walls of this wretched place, it'll take us through a wooded area and then down onto something called Frankland Way. We'll follow that towards Durham city centre. Taking this path here up to the Riverside Ponds area. I'm not sure if this route takes us directly through it, but we'll have a look. Left, it'll take you to Frankland Wood. We don't want to go left, we want to go straight. So this is where the monks and the pilgrims will have gotten the first view of Durham Cathedral there. And you can see the path we're taking, we're just following this round here. So there it is, that's where we're heading. Tell you something, it feels good to get out on a Saturday morning for a change. Usually I'll be lying in bed stinking of drink on a Saturday morning, hungover to death. But I haven't had a drink for 22 days, which doesn't seem like a great deal for any normal person. But to me, someone that has binge drank heavily for the past 2 decades, I think I've only missed 2 weekends in 20 years. It's a pretty big achievement. I got a bit of a head start on you dry January get. Day after Boxing Day I woke up ill as usual, a Saturday, and I just thought this has got to stop. Like, now I'm not going to preach sobriety or out like that, because I love the drink, but I do feel a massive improvement in my energy levels, in my mood. So hopefully I can stick with it, because it's doing us the world of good, like. And this is the path that's going to take us into Durham city centre. Cathedral there in the distance. Here's some bike divvies coming. It's actually called Frankland Lane, not Frankland Way. Middle-aged men fleeing. I don't have anybody else is into like history and that who watches the channel, but to me, just seeing that approach there towards the cathedral, knowing that like this is what monks and pilgrims and that saw 1,000 years ago, it's just mad. Obviously there was no frigging cables, and it was probably all fielded back in the day, and the awful trains gone past. But just to see that, that's pretty interesting to me. Where's this eyes fella? I think that's the third or fourth bit of graffiti with his name on. Is he doing the Finchale Camino trail? Right, so there's your views looking back where we've come, because after this section here we're going to go into a lot more urban environment. See how that goes. Passing this sewage works now. Honks a cock. Now we've joined the river weir. Durham University here. Follow this path along, eventually to a bridge. It'll take us over towards the cathedral. Anybody that watches often will know this is not my regular thing. I tend to walk to get away from people, yet here I am walking into a city centre full of people. The thing is, with it being a shit day, couldn't really do anything high up. Here to do something low down, so I just thought I'm going to try something different. Whether I enjoy it or not is a different question. Last time I was in Durham, it was inundated with crackheads, so fingers crossed I didn't get shanked from my camera. Up there, but steps here. Just approaching the cathedral now, you can see it behind us. Construction on this began 1093 and it was largely complete by 1133. It was specifically built to hold the shrine of St Cuthbert, so that shows you how important that fella was back in the day. In recent years they've used this to film some of the Harry Potter films, so stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Hi mate. Aye. Jesus Christ. Trying to find St Cuthbert. Might have to ask the vicar. Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's this hour at? So this is it. This is the end of the pilgrimage. He's here, isn't he? They've even got a priest gardening. Just have a look around here before we leave. Where's this fella? Right, so that's it. That's the pilgrimage complete. I don't know if I was supposed to leave like a gift or an offering, but there was a bodgy guard in his shrine, so I couldn't leave now. I've only got starburst on us, like, but I would have left one. So now I'll head back over to Finchale, and we'll have a look around the priory there. I might check out them bunkers on the way. So I'll be back in a bit because I've got about 4.5 mile walking back. Brilliant. Had to get that bit of footage of the cathedral there, because that one down there was shite. A very impressive building. Right, now I'm going back to Finchale. Right, so I'm back over near the priory now. I've just come through this gap in the fence here, and I'm going to have a look around this derelict area. Now to see, really just looks like a cracked in. Before I go any further, can I just say All Trails has got this down as a 9 mile out and back, and it's not. If you're adding bits and bobs on like I have, you're going to be looking about 10 or 11 mile. So not a little walk. There's loads of them. I don't know what the hell these things are. I've never actually noticed them. We can't actually get into them, they're boarded up. I don't know if they're like some old type of storage facility, something like that. You can't get in. Right, so let's get back over to the priory or abbey, and we'll have a look around the ruins before we head home. So here we are at the ruins of the priory. Go and have a look around here. This place is famous for a bodgy called St Godric, who lived here during the 1100s, and he was a hermit, and the pilgrims would come and visit him whilst doing the Camino trail, because he was renowned for his holiness. After he died, pilgrims continued to come here and used it as a resting spot for doing the longer Camino trail, and it was eventually closed with the dissolution of the monasteries in the 1500s by that fat divvy Henry VIII. So let's go and have a look round here. Just looking around this Finchale type dungeon. Hiya.
Hiya.
It's kinda busy for a heap of shade. Right, we'll wrap this one up because it's starting to piss down. I'm aware that it's something very different for the channel. I like to be up high, out of the way people. But over at the cathedral, it wasn't too bad. I got there early enough and it wasn't packed. I had it pretty much to myself apart from the security vicars and that. It's nice to get back over to Finchale. When I'm looking towards the riverbank back there, it brought back good memories of when we were young'uns. Big groups of us used to come over here with sacks of cans, jump in the water, get up to all types of unruly shit. But it's also pretty sad as well because a good handful of the lads from different groups I used to come over here with sadly died over the years. So bittersweet, to be honest, but the walk itself was alright. I've just got to walk up these death steps now back to the car. So I didn't have, I'll be making a habit of things like this, but it's been alright, and we're getting out on a Saturday.